Okay, we're going to be discussing slope. Slope of a non-vertical line. Do you remember what a vertical line is, by the way, before we move on? Vertical line is one that goes goes straight up and down, okay? Horizontal, it goes across like that. So the slope of a non-vertical line is the ratio of the change in the y coordinates, how much it rises, to the change in the x coordinates, how much it runs, okay, as you move from one point to another. Listen, whenever you have the coordinate plane and you have a line, then whenever you move from one point to another point, how much it goes up over how much it goes over is the slope. Okay? The rise over the run. That is slope. The formula for slope, the official formula for slope is y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1 equals m. Okay, look, m stands for slope, y2 stands for the second y coordinate, y1 is the first y coordinate, x2 is the second x coordinate, and x1 is the first x coordinate. What's important is you match them up well. So if we have, for example, a coordinate of 1, -3, and 2, 4, okay, you can decide that this is the first and this is the second coordinate. If you do, then when you do y2 minus y1, it'll be 4 minus a -3 over x2, 2 minus 1, which gives you 7 over 1. Or another person might say this is the second coordinate and this is the first coordinate. And if they did, then it would be -3 minus 4 over 1 minus 2, which gives you -7 over -1, which is 7 over 1. Same outcome. It doesn't matter which one you decide is coordinate number 2 and coordinate number 1, as long as you're consistent in the way that you do it. Find the slope of the line that passes through the pair of points -2, 0 and 1, 5. So this is what we do. We put m equals, let's let this one be coordinate 2. So we do y2, which is 0, minus y1, which is 5, over x2, which is -2, minus x1, which is 1. So we get -5 over -3, which is equal to 5 over 3, because the negatives cancel out each other out. Now we come over here and we look at this, and it says our slope is 5 over 3. That means that for every 5 that you go up, you go over 3. Let's see if that's what happens. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, up, 1, 2, 3, across. And yes, you can just count them, but sometimes that's not possible, and so you got to be able to know the formula. So you have an option: you can count, or you can do the formula. Use the formula whenever there are times, well, whenever you're told to, and whenever there are times that you can't do it just by looking at the graph. All right, your turn. Find the slope of the line that passes through the pair of points -3, 4, and 2, -3. Pause the video, try this, and get back to me. So we've got -3, 4, and 2, -3. This time we'll let this one be number 2 and this one be number 1, just to mix things up. You might have done it differently, that's okay. But slope equals -3 minus 4 over 2 minus a -3. And that gives us -7 over 5. So let's see, that means that for every 7 that you go up or down, every 7 that you go down, you go 5 to the across to the right. So let's try this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that worked. Now something that's very important here is it doesn't matter where the negative is, okay? You could have had this as 7 over -5, and it's the same slope. Okay, because look, this tells you go up 7 and left 5. So let's try that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Same thing. As long when there's a negative in the problem, it doesn't matter where you put it, you're going to come up with the same thing. As a matter of fact, you can write it like this also and make your choice about which one you're going to apply it to. Find the slope of the line that passes through the pair of points -3, -1, and 2, -1. Well, you can look at this line and notice that there's something special about it. Do you already know what it is? Let's do slope equals. This will be number 2. This will be number 1. y2 minus y1. This is where a lot of people make a mistake. See, I've already put the negative sign for minus because in the formula it's y2 minus -1 over x2, which is 2, minus a -3. So that gives us -1 plus 1 over 2 plus 3 equals 0 over 5. 0 over 5 is 0. So that tells us something about this. When we've got 0 over 5, that means for every 0 that it goes up, it goes across 5. Well, it doesn't go up and it goes across 5. Well, that just tells us that it's a horizontal line, doesn't it? So whenever you have a slope of 0, that means that you've got a horizontal line. Okay? Your turn. Pause the video, do this one, and then get back to me. Alright, find the slope of the line that passes through the pair of points -2, 4, and -2, -3. So we try this and we go slope equals, let's do this, 2 and 1. 4 minus a -3 over -2 minus a -2 equals 7 over 0. Now, what do you know about division by 0? Division by 0 is undefined. That's because you can't do it. Okay, and if you want to know how to prove that, you can get with me and I'll show you. But division by 0 is undefined. When 0 is on the top, the answer is 0. When 0 is on the bottom in the denominator, then that means it's undefined. So this is an undefined slope. A vertical line has undefined slope. A horizontal line has 0 slope. Find the value of r so that the line, see, we already know the slope of this one. And what we're trying to find is one of the coordinates of the line that passes that the line passes through. So we've got 1, 4, and we'll let it be number 2. Let's change markers. We'll let it be number 2, and this one will be number 1. And we say slope, which is m, and in this case we know the slope, so it's 1/3 equals y2, 4, minus y1, which is r, over x2, which is 1, minus x1, which is -5. So that gives us 4 minus r over, excuse me, let me just do this. 1/3 equals 4 minus r over 6. And now we've got a proportion that we can solve. We go 1 times 6 and we get 6. We go 3 times 4, which gives us 12, and 3 times -r, which gives us -3r. Now let's work this out. Draw our line. -12 minus 12, -3r equals -6. Divide by -3, divide by -3, and that gives us r equals 2. So if r were 2, then we would get 1/3 as our slope. And let's check it out. 4 minus 2 over 1 minus a -5 equals 2 over 6 equals 1/3.